today's Master of Ceremonies. Welcome you to the 2023 Gold Star dedication for Fire Engine 24. At this time, would you please rise for the presentation of our colors by the Kansas High School Junior. At this time, I would welcome Emily Stanford, a Gold Star sibling, sister of Sergeant Louis Stanford, to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I'd like to welcome Driver Engineer Christopher Cottle, Concourse Fire Department Chaplain, for an invitation.
I appreciate all you coming out today to honor Corporal Rabin T. Heckler. Please join me in the CPS. Almighty God, we thank you for everyone who's come out to join us this morning in honoring. We're grateful for his family that they gave the ultimate sacrifice. Pray that every firefighter that will work on Engine 24 will continue the legacy of Rabin in service, honor, and commitment. We offer Engine 24 our lives and our skills to your glory, and to meet the emergency needs of the citizens of Congress. I ask a blessing on Engine 24 that it will be a beacon to the community as a symbol of dedication and service. Help us, O God, to use this piece of apparatus, our skills and training, and our knowledge, and all that you have provided us to answer the call each and every time. Bless these stations and all who serve within them. Protect them and give them strength and skills that we need. Protect those who are in need. Make this a place of strong family ties with all who serve you. Bind us together with cords of duty, friendship, and dedication. We ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Please be seated. So I'm just a little bit late to remind you this is a working fire station. That means there's water on the floor, and on occasion, somewhere to the tune in this building of 4,100 times a year, a lot of noise overhead, and some people dressed very similarly. They shop at that same place. It's a store. And they'll hit out the door. So just understand that there's no halftime in this school. So they'll continue to provide services in this hall. So thank you again for being here on behalf of our community. And so humbled to be able to serve as a master of ceremonies for by far the most exciting ceremony of the year. This time it is my sincere best opportunity. I'm going to give this absolute joy to get to welcome my good friend and absolutely one of the best fire chiefs in the state, Kyle Berryhill, for the fire chief's remarks.
Good morning. I'm Kyle Berryhill of the Palmcrest Fire Department, and I've been lucky enough to be the chief of this organization that I'm so proud of since October. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here to honor Corporal Hyder. There's something that I say about the department and to its members. Well, before I get too far in, sometimes I cry, I hope it's okay, the guys in the back, my classes, and how many times they do. But it's because I love what you do and I love the honor associated with the sacrifice of Corporal Hyder so much. It's meaning to me and I love the Gold Star families. Please don't judge the way too far. It's something that I say about this department to its members, that my father said to me and my brothers, is that I'm always proud. And that is true. But I'm not sure if there is ever a day that I'm more proud of who we are and who we strive to be than today when we honor our community's Gold Star families and their heroes who are also our heroes. So before we go a little bit too much further, thank you to driver engineer Chris Strozier who birthed this idea. It was his brainchild. He's a Navy veteran who wanted to remember both the people who made the ultimate sacrifice and the families who continue to enjoy this community. Lieutenant Patrick Taylor and the other members of who bring gravitas and trust to our organization, especially on days like today. Their work and their time and effort are incredibly grateful for, and they make events like this successful. So I do not have the privilege to know him, but I've been doing some studying. And the more I learn about him, it's almost like pain for me. I cannot help but feel a kinship. We graduated high school in 1997, grew up in the late 90s. We both played sports. He was a football player, I played baseball. I played football once, but no one asked me that. So we both felt a profound sense of gratitude for the impact our family made and who we are. And we both thought Dave Chappelle was really funny. As I learned about this Hyder, I started to miss him, and I don't even know him. And as I think of you and your favorite sacrifice, I'm reminded of how I felt on a recent trip. I was in Emmitsburg, Maryland, which is really close to both DC and Gettysburg, where the National Fire Academy is trying to get a little bit better at this job. I know that so much. And I was close to the DC area, and in consecutive days before I came back home, after I finished the training, I visited Gettysburg and then the Lincoln Memorial. And I felt a tremendous sense of pride in both places about what others had done so I could live in American life and have love and peace. I felt like I owed a new everything. The words and message of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address are on a wall a little bit bigger than this wall, but they still ring true. Our lives and our privileges and our victories come due to a sacrifice that is made by Corporal Hyder and the immigrants and families that we together. And so today, in this Memorial Day, and every day, to use Lincoln's word, it is fitting and proper for us to remember Corporal Hyder. I also believe tremendously that Lincoln's call to those of us who have time left to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who have fought and so nobly advanced continues to ring true. We still have the ability to carry on and make an impact. And so that is why we're so proud that Corporal Hyder will now ride on horsepower until 24. As they look to deliver the best service to the community every time. As they protect the life and property of the community, as they protect the life and property of our residents, and as they seek to bring us back to stability when somehow the world is conversing chaos. I think Corporal Hyder will feel at home with these men and women. I got the privilege of listening to some words that he wrote. And he wrote to his mother, he said, "I'm eating good, I'm working out, and I'm reading good literature. I can guarantee that our firefighters will do 2 of those 3 things." I'm going to try and help him on the literature one too, but definitely 2 of the 3, he'll feel right at home. He also wrote, what he wrote next was, "The group of soldiers I am with now, good people. They take care of me, and I take care of them." As Corporal Hyder's name rises before firefighters, I can guarantee that he will be with good people. We will do our utmost to take care of his good name, and I believe that he will be there to help take care of them. So thank you very much for being a part of this ceremony today. It is our privilege to be able to do this. And I think we're going to go now to a family presentation sheet.
Distinguished honor to represent, or to call, calling her City Council Member Hyder for a family presentation.
Good morning, everyone. First, I want to say thank you so much to all of you for coming out to share this moment with me on this Memorial Day. This Memorial Day, for me, it is so fitting for me to be here talking to you about my son, my hero, because this year, on July 24th, it will mark the 20th year of his, it will be the 20th year anniversary of his death in Iraq. And I want to say to you that had it not been for him and his sacrifice and all the sacrifices that have been made by all of our service members and their families, I would not be standing here today. I would not have the honor of having the pleasure of meeting all of you. And it means so much to me because in my heart, dearly, I care about each and every one of you and the fact that we're here to help me honor all of our heroes on this Memorial Day. But I want to tell you a little story. I'm going to go back 20 years and I'm having a little flashback. When they came to tell me that I had lost my son in Iraq, I wasn't quite sure what it all meant. But what I did understand was I finally understood the thank you for your service. Because I'll be the first one to admit, until I got that knock on the door, I had no clue. I had no clue whatsoever what each and every one of our service members' service meant to this country until I had to lose my own son. So, with that being said, I want to thank each and every veteran that sits here in this audience today and say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service and your sacrifice. And the other thing that I want to share with you is that when I found out that I was a Gold Star mother, I was like, well, what is that? I had no clue. So they invited me to come to this luncheon that they were having for Gold Star mothers. I lived in Long Island, New York at the time. And we sat in this big room and we were having breakfast. And I'm looking at all of these beautiful women in white, Most of them were probably mothers of Vietnam veterans. I was kind of young at the time. But we're sitting there, and I'm looking at all of these women, and they're telling the stories about their sons that had served in Vietnam. And there would be tears in their eyes, and they would each be saying, well, I lost my son 30 years ago, and it still seems like yesterday, and I'll never forget. And they went on to tell the story over and over again. Many of them had been there for several years at the same type of event breakfast, and they tell that same story every year. So myself and another ghost mother, we had both lost our sons that year in 2003. We were sitting next to each other, and we were dressed in our white. We were told to wear white. So we were dressed in our white, we were sitting next to each other, and we looked at each other and we said, that ain't gonna be me. I ain't gonna be sitting here 20 years from now, talking about and telling my son's story. Well, guess what? Here I am, 20 years later, telling my son's story. And that's an honor, and it's a privilege. I never thought that I would be doing it, but I'll tell you, I'm praying that I get the opportunity to get to do it for another 20 years, because I'll be right here telling my story, honoring my son's sacrifice, honoring the sacrifices of all those that have served this great country we call America, this country that we love so dearly, this country where we cherish our freedoms. And with that being said, to our veterans and all those that have served, we owe you a debt that could never be repaid, because you paid such a high price for our freedom. So on this Memorial Day, as each and every one of you go about your weekend, and there are going to be barbecues, and there are going to be picnics and cookouts, please take a moment to reflect and remember all of those brave men and women who have served this country. Some of those have paid the ultimate sacrifice, like my son, like the Stanford son, and given their lives for this country and our freedom. Take a moment to remember them and recognize the price that they have paid. And I just want to say I'm so proud to be here. Thank you to our fire department for this day. Thank you for honoring the Gold Star family. And I probably could go on and on after 20 years and tell you one story after another, but we'll have to do that at another time. But I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you to our junior ROTC, and I want each and every one of you to enjoy your Memorial Day weekend and honor our heroes and all those that have served. Thank you.
We don't rehearse this. So we look like we are. At this time, at this time, I would like to invite our driver engineer, Chris Strozier, who came to me with this idea 4 years ago, and I got to be honest with you, I've been in the fire service about as long as he's been alive. I've been fire chief longer than more than a third of our fire department members have been alive, and I've never heard 90 members. Chris?
Good morning. Everybody here, this is as difficult for me as it is for many. Although I'm not a Gold Star family, I have had the pleasure of serving the team of assistants. As another Memorial Day approaches, most Americans will be enjoying a 3-day weekend filled with boats, beaches, and barbecues, without giving much thought to state of the Since the war on terrorism began over 20 years ago, 7,075 fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, husbands, and wives have paid the ultimate sacrifice to ensure that we keep the many rights and freedoms that we all grew so accustomed to enjoy. Sadly, this leaves 7,075 families with a void in their lives that will never be filled. This void will be different for each of these families. For many, it'll be an empty chair at a family dinner. For others, it'll be the obvious absence of a father during the bride's wedding, or a young man first learns to shave. With the war on terrorism being all but over, dedications like the one we have the honor of being part of today is now more important than ever. As life moves on for us all, as the years pass, memories begin to fade, and many of these men and women slowly are forgotten. So I'm honored to be given the opportunity to make sure one more of these men that sacrificed their lives, names will not fade into existence. With that said, I'd like to introduce you a little bit. Army Corporal Lee Tyson Byron was born December 8, 1980 in Bayshore, New York. He graduated from Brentwood High School, where he was on the football team. He shared a love for art and excelled in intricate pencil sketches. His mother, Kathy, described him as 6'2", handsome, beautiful smile, and artistic, and as a boxing champion. She described her son as a strapping young man. He's 6'2", I bet he was. She stated that he would crawl into bed with her to watch the Chappelle Show. We're dating this a little bit. And that would be his last military, that would have been on his last military leave. He first tried to enlist at 17, but recruiters that young needed written permission from a parent or guardian. I've got to know Kathy, and I could definitely picture the fire in her eyes when that conversation came up. When a recruiter came to the salon from the others, he basically told me to kick him out. But he finally joined up a few months before September 11th attack when he was 20 years old. So you can tell the fire and dedication was there. He was determined to make a difference, no matter what it was, and he definitely anchored on. After basic training, he served a year in South Korea before he was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 320th Field Artillery Fort Hamilton, Kentucky, where he was assigned as an artillery specialist. He was killed north of Al-Had, Iraq on July 24, 2003 at the age of 22. When his military convoy was ambushed, he was laid to rest with full military honors at Long Island National Cemetery. Corporal Hyder paid the ultimate sacrifice. A lot of people say that they thank us for our service as military veterans, and every veteran across the nation sacrifices something. And one of my favorite quotes that I hear all the time is, all gave some gave up. And members like Corporal Hyder were the ones who gave up literally everything for all these things that we sometimes take for granted today. With that said, we just appreciate you giving us the honor and the to throw our more ahead. And I promise you that as one calls from 3 or 4 men apparatus, Corporal Hyder will be right.
Treasurer Patrick Juliana, thank you for putting this together. Thank you for making it what it is. Every year I say, this is, not maybe, the best ceremony we do all year. I mean, no disrespect to the other ceremonies. A lot of times we're celebrating really pure and genuine things. This is the best example we have of celebrating service and sacrifice and self. Army Corporal Raheem Tyson Piper died 20 years ago this year at the ripe young age of 22. You know, in 1997, I was a fire chief. I had a lot in common with recruiters from the military, and I knew them. We were at the same high school events. We all wanted those all-American kids. He understood family. He understood sacrifice. He understood service. He understood that there may be a check to write. A lot of people are fundamentally unwilling to write. Provider, we love him. He died believing with strong conviction that the right thing is that service comes before self. He placed himself in harm's way so that no one would ever inflict that damage on us in this country again. Although Corporal Piper did not get to take the fight to them and ensure our freedoms for all of us for very long time. His bravery, his spirit of service, his willingness, and his courage will guide American children for generations. As a fire chief, I was involved in a lot of the coming home ceremonies. My department provided escorts, we provided armed guards, we provided chaplains, we assisted in bang taps and folk. And one thing that has always stricken me about these all-American kids they gave all they had. The example of defending and protecting fellow Americans is by far the greatest example of human decency that I know. And we, the men and women of Palm Coast Fire Department, vow to replicate that example of Corporal Hyder to live his life of sacrifice for others thousands of times a year. And the Corporal Raheem Tyson Hyder Fire Engine 24. Raheem Tyson Hyder is handsome as an all-American. God bless you. God bless your family. Pretty cool. God bless your fire engine. I promise you, we're going to strive to make you proud. Major Tom Hall, thank you. Thank you for putting class in this ceremony. We'll be
So, I just wanted to share this last word with everyone here. I want everybody in this room to know that I am so proud of this. I am so proud of his service and his sacrifice. And again, it took his sacrifice and losing him to make me understand what all of our service members' sacrifice meant to us as a country, as a nation. So I would be remiss if I did not take this moment to recognize each and every one of our veterans in this room. Would you please just stand so that I can say thank you personally for your service and sacrifice?